Hello everyone. Alright, so for this video I want to talk about starting a drawing and maybe a bigger drawing. I know in the last video I talked about that I was going to focus a lot on sketching and stuff, and that is true, I am, but I instead for my second video decided to go in a different direction. Talk about planning a larger drawing. Like if you've got something you want to spend a little bit more time on, it's going to be a larger size. I'm going to talk about that process. But before I do, I got a lot of good feedback on the last video, and I just wanted to say thank you. You guys are awesome. I'm going to try to keep it up and yeah, get some more videos out for you. So let's get into it. When I do a larger piece, I like to do a couple things. I like to pick out some pens and pencils, think about what I'm going to use for the drawing. Now, to get ideas, I like to do thumbnails, sometimes for larger pieces. Sometimes I just jump into the drawing itself, but just for the video's sake, we'll do a thumbnail today. Now, thumbnail is an awesome idea, or an awesome way to get your ideas out really quick. And you can do them in your sketchbook, you can do them on a post-it note or a napkin, whatever you feel like doing. I like to pick really cool pens to do thumbnails, pens that you may not normally use for drawing bigger stuff. Bright pink pen right here, super fun to use. We'll go with that. So, all I want to do is draw this character from kind of a little bit of an angle. I drew this satyr kind of demon character. Not sure what's going on with her, but I came up with her earlier today, and I wanted to draw some more of her, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to get my idea out really quick. Thumbnails, I don't want to spend a lot of time, I just want to figure out the general placement of things, size. I did a rough rectangular, it doesn't have to be perfect size. I don't like to bust out the ruler very often, if I don't have to anyway. But we'll go with something like this. And I don't normally do thumbnails like this, especially if I'm doing a drawing like this. It's like a character that I've drawn before, I know how to draw it, and it's all familiar stuff. I'd definitely want to do a thumbnail. I usually do thumbnails when I'm drawing other people's characters, doing fan art, something that I'm not as familiar with. But I'm doing it today so you guys can see the process. I do love drawing thumbnails. I don't do them as often as I should, but they're fun. The key is not to spend a lot of time, just to get your idea out so that it's, not in your head. And thumbnails are awesome because if you have an idea while you're at work or something, just on your break, crap out a thumbnail really quick, and then you have your idea saved to draw later. So you don't have to be oh, I had this cool idea, I gotta remember it, and then go from there. So I'm working with Moleskine Sketchbook for thumbnail. Not super important. But the paper I'm going to be using today is Canson XL watercolor paper. I'm grabbing it so you can see it. It's this blue one. You can get this at Walmart. It's nothing super special, but I like the brand. It's a good price, the paper is good. Watercolor is good for graphite, it's got a good texture, or if you want to use it for watercolor or colored pencil, it's great for that. It's thicker, it holds up. I use it for most of my commissions because it just feels like a heavier piece of paper, like it's going to last longer, that kind of thing. So, what I like to do for my bigger drawings if I'm doing graphite is I'll get a big fatty pencil and just scribble some graphite out on a card, or a scratch piece of paper or something. Piece of paper. Yeah, I got it. So yeah, graphite on the paper. Just draw it out. This is a big Cretacolor, I don't know, many millimeter huge lead holder thing. It's just that, lead holder. It's Cretacolor. I think it's an Australian brand or New Zealand. One of those. But yeah, I'll scribble some graphite out there, and then get a little finger action. You got some graphite on your finger. Hello. So I've got that. I've got my thumbnail right there. It's over there. then I just use some graphite to kind of like block out big shapes, and that may not be super easy to see. Where'd that thing go? Got it. Got the thing. Get some graphite, block out the shapes, you know, kind of general area. If I'm doing something bigger, that helps me get a pretty good idea of where things are going to go. Not being specific, you know, because I want this graphite later to kind of just blend in, and it will, because I will blend everything. But when I do like a larger drawing, I like to start with the larger shapes, less detailed shapes, and move down, or rather get to the finer details later on. So we're doing this super rough right now. You can probably barely see it. But just, you know, it's essentially just like guidelines to work off of. I'm going to go in with a different pencil in a minute and get some more specific shapes on there. But right now, all I want to know is where things are going to go later. There we go. Bam. So you can see kind of like just the head shape there. That's kind of just what I'm blocking out, like the ear here. There's the front of the face, a horn, and just kind of, alright, I know where everything's going to go. I don't need a lot of detail there. Tuck my thumbnail off to the side so I can glance at it if I need to. I'm going to move in with this, I don't know what to call this, it's a big fat pencil. I sharpened it kind of roughly, so it's got like a wider tip. I think this one is like a, this is like a 1H or something, or a 2H maybe. And so it's a little bit on the lighter end. I believe it's a General's pencil because I think it came with this one, but it could just be a random pencil. But these are you can find these in pretty much any art store. They usually call it like a sketching pencil or something like that. This one is a General's. I'm pretty sure this one is too. If it had branding on it, it is long gone by now. Random pencil I found in a drawer. Cool. But it feels like I said, around like a 2H. It's not super dark, but I sharpened it to a flat point so I can kind of use it as a chisel, just to get out some of the like basic shadow areas, and kind of just blend it in as I go. Not doing a whole lot of detail here, but we're moving a little bit further into the drawing. So before I was just smudging things in, so I kind of knew where everything would go. Now I'm kind of getting some specific lines and shapes, and focusing a little bit more detail here. So if you kind of get the gist that we are moving our way up. That's kind of how I learned to draw in art school, starting with less specific shapes and getting to more specific shapes as you go. Because if you focus like on a, you know, just putting a ton of detail into a very small area before you've got your whole idea, like you could get sick of your drawing. The drawing will have a different feel across the board because you spent like 3 hours in one place, then quit for the day, and then spent a few more hours in the other place. It may sound like I'm rambling, but I hope I'm making a little bit of sense. When you're rendering like a realistic portrait or something, you always start with like super rough shapes because you're going to spend a lot of time on that portrait making it look realistic. And you kind of want to know where everything's going to go before you put a ton of time into one specific area. And I don't really do a lot of realistic portraits anymore. I don't really like it. But the principle is the same. When you're rendering something, especially with pencil, because pencil is so awesome with its ability to be layered, it's good to think ahead, to plan ahead. Like if you draw in Photoshop, you use different layers, and you kind of have a progression in the way you add layers and the way that you work. I kind of like to think about it that way when I'm drawing with graphite. But graphite is just fun to use. And there's something to be said about, you know, just finding like a random pencil in a drawer that you know nothing about and just, you know, giving it a good sharpen and seeing what it can do. This is one of my favorite pencils. I have no idea where it came from. If you have followed me on social media for a while, you may know that about me, that I like to use a variety of supplies, and recently, you know, in the last like year or so, I've been trying to focus on like cheaper supplies. I've been using a lot of Crayola stuff. Crayola, hit me up for sponsorships. I'm open to making a deal. Crayola is awesome. All of their colored pencils and crayons are just fantastic and fun to use, which is really important. But Generals is a great brand, also not a lot of money for pencils and stuff. You don't have to buy expensive products to have fun. I talked about the Papermate pencil, this one right here. This was like $4 for a pack of 6 of these and extra leads. So you don't have to spend a ton of money to find supplies that you like using and that work well for you. So yeah, here we go. We're getting into some more specific lines here, but this is all going to be blended out heavily. And I'm not going to finish the drawing in this video. This is just about starting the drawing. So as you can see, we went from this thumbnail that I still have on the side, right here, to this kind of blockout concept. And it's changed a little bit. Placing was a little bit different, but that's part of the journey. I don't like to normally sketch straight onto a page, because I like to kind of change a drawing up as I go. You know, whether I do a thumbnail or not. A lot of times I kind of just let the drawing go where it wants to, or do whatever it takes me in the moment. Because if I draw out this thumbnail and then I'm drawing something like, oh, this would be a better idea, then I'll change it a little bit. But at least I have an idea of where everything is, if that makes sense. But if you like sketching with pencil, get yourself one of these Generals pencils. You can usually get them in like a set. You can probably find it at Michael's, or like Joann's or something like that. They're really fun to use, and you just use a knife to sharpen them. I just use usually an X-Acto knife to sharpen my pencils, or like a pocket knife or whatever. Doesn't need to be fancy if it gets the job done. So, this is looking pretty good. I like where this is going. I will finish this drawing in another video. I'm going to use this video for the purpose of, or not this video, sorry, this drawing for the purpose of kind of talking about the different stages of a drawing. So right now we're talking about the beginning of a drawing, using some different materials, setting yourself up, because that's all really important. If you like, put on some music, grab a snack, make yourself comfortable. These are all things that I do. I'm not, I don't have music on right now, obviously, because I'm recording, but if I wasn't recording, I would have music on right now. I'd, have something to drink, have something to eat, so I'd be comfortable. Because that, for me, and it may be different for you, but for me, that helps like get me in the zone to create art. I don't feel like, oh, I gotta get up and go grab a snack, or I gotta do this or do that. Like, I've set myself up for work, for productivity. That's part of my routine in starting a drawing too. So, whatever it takes. You want to like put on a movie or like watch a YouTube video, or man, I don't know, like take a crap before you start drawing. Whatever gets you comfortable. Do that. Make a ritual out of it. It's cool. Nobody's gonna judge you. So yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. I'll probably block out some larger shapes in the background here at some point. Let's get the hair placement in here too. We'll do that. Because I think I'm probably just going to do like a generic, like, probably intestine or tentacles or something like that in the background. Just the usual. So I'll probably do that eventually. I might do it off camera, I might not, we'll see. Still getting a feel out of, like, how I'm going to record these videos and make it like a regular thing. But hey, it's a journey, right? We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out together. But yeah, if you're digging the videos, hopefully I'll be posting more. I'm gonna try to keep it somewhat regular. But yeah, thanks for all the support, guys. It's been awesome so far. So let's keep it going. I'll keep it going, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.